is Sarah and welcome to The Bookish Knitter. Today I'm coming to you with a 5-minute or less reading review, or book review I should say. So the other day I finished reading Murder on St. Mark's Place by Victoria Thompson. This is the second book in the Gaslight Mystery series and I gave it 5 stars. So as I mentioned when I talked about the fact I finished this book, this is a very, very rare occurrence for me to give 2 books in a row from the same series 5 stars. I am stingent with my 5-star reviews, but this one was so good. So I'm not going to get into the whole, like, it is a mystery, and it kind of, in a way, the relationship between Sarah and Malloy. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with the Gaslight Mystery series, Sarah is our female lead. This takes place in Gilded Age, New York, turn of the century, late 1890s, I think is when the first books start, because Teddy Roosevelt, yes, that Teddy Roosevelt, is the commissioner of the New York City Police Department at the time, and that's an actual historical fact. So that's how I got the time period. I think it was 1895 to 1897. I can't remember. Anyway. So she came from the Knickerbocker family, like the very wealthy, well-to-do Dutch families that kind of settled in New York, and the big money, the Rockefellers, all the big names, right? And so she comes from that very wealthy family, but she married as below class, as her family said, and she was kind of like snubbed, like disowned, if you will, and so she went off with him and she was very happy, but then he was murdered. This was well before the series starts. He was murdered, and then she became a midwife. He was a doctor and she became a midwife. So at the start of the series, in the last book, she's a midwife, and she is in this one as well. And in the beginning of this book, she gets called to a birth, and the mother-to-be is very distraught because her sister was just found murdered, her 16-year-old sister, a German immigrant girl. And so the plot of the book is Sarah teaming up with this detective constable, I can't remember his actual title, Frank Malloy, and he begrudgingly lets her assist him, if you will. And this book was so good. It takes place like, again, in Gilded Age, New York, but it takes place, part of it takes place on Coney Island, and it just has that old-timey, it was, for me, I'm a history buff, right, and to hear of the kind of clothes they're wearing, and that it cost them a nickel to get on the trolley to go to Coney Island, and the freak show and the rides and the stuff that was still really, really new. Like, the one ride they had is that one where you get in the boat and it goes down, right? And on most places when you go there now, they get a picture of you, like they have a camera set up so they get a picture of everybody in the boat as you're going down. But because they didn't have that, you had to stay still for so long to get a photograph. They have a place where you can sit in a pretend boat and make like scary faces, and then the photographer takes your picture, and then you have a memento. And again, I'm just like, this is just so charming. Like, this is just with a very grisly murder attached to it. So I won't get into the whole murder and the whodunit and whatever, and I was kind of surprised, but kind of not. I'm like, I kind of thought it was going that way, but again, it was a 5-star read. I will definitely get on to the 3rd book. Again, I said it before, I am so sad I was been sleeping on this series, because guys, you need to read it. It is not a cozy. I said this the last time, it is absolutely not a cozy. And I think my last book, I said I gave it 4.5 stars because it was billed as a cozy, and it wasn't, and I've scratched that now. I went back and gave it 5 stars because that's not the book's fault that it was called a cozy or a lot of people think it's a cozy mystery, you know what I mean? So I went back and said, no, that is it's a 5-star read. They're both book 1 and 2 5-star reads. So definitely check out this series if you like historical mysteries. And they can get a little grisly, to be honest, especially with the murders and stuff like that. So anyway, guys, that is it. I hope you enjoyed this, and until my next video, take care and happy reading. Bye, everybody.